have kept quiet long enough. But what they did to Luka, that was personal.
The GOAT is about to drop the wildest bombshell behind the Luka Doncic trade. And trust me, everything you've heard so far barely scratches the surface. What I'm about to break down will make you question everything you thought you knew about this deal.
Is it important that you now have a Defensive Player of the Year candidate in Luka? He seems to think that he's telling us that he wants some.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Today, we're breaking down the real story behind the shocking Luka and Davis trade, the kind of twist that makes you stare at your screen wondering, wait, what? And just when it already feels unbelievable, wait until you hear how Diddy and LeBron are tangled up in this madness. The NBA moves fast, scary fast. One moment, Luka Doncic is torching defenders in Dallas, smiling like it's another casual night, and the next minute, rumors say he's packing for Los Angeles. You'd think the Mavericks would be the last franchise on earth to move their golden ticket, but this is the NBA. Loyalty sounds great until the salary cap bites back. Suddenly, your superstar isn't your savior anymore. He's an asset with a price tag. So when news broke that Luka Doncic was traded to the Lakers for Anthony Davis and 2 future picks, the league didn't just react, it exploded. Timeline.
I didn't quite know it to what level.
Because, let's be real, Luka was the Mavericks. Their best player, their identity, their heartbeat. He carried that franchise through every dark season, every clutch moment, every unexpected playoff miracle. When the roster looked painfully average, Luka still made Dallas feel relevant. Even his teammates recognized it. Derek Lively once said that Luka made everyone better simply by the attention he commanded on the court. Derek Jones Jr. pushed it further, saying Luka's court vision forced everyone to raise their level. They didn't realize it at the time, but those interviews aged like warnings, subtle reminders of how massive the void would be once Luka was gone. And here's the wild part. This move wasn't some last-minute panic trade. Insiders say the Lakers had been working on it for months. Quiet calls, luxury tax gymnastics, late-night strategy sessions, all aimed at one thing, finding their next superstar before time ran out. The Lakers were staring at life after LeBron, and let's be honest, Anthony Davis wasn't convincing anyone he could carry that torch alone. His injuries kept piling up, his numbers dipped, and the team collapsed every time he sat. So the Lakers did what they always do. They went hunting for the next megastar to keep the empire alive. Back in Dallas, emotions were everywhere. Heartbreak, frustration, and for a few, a strange sense of relief. Fans were crushed because
mogoče hidavščina celo, da to pa me osebno boli, ker mislim, da si Luka absolutno tega ni zaslužil.
the NBA has a new face for the modern superstar era, the quiet, calculated type who plays chess instead of checkers. Luka didn't storm out, didn't fire off cryptic tweets, and didn't act like a diva. Meanwhile, Dallas is trying to adjust to life without the player who was their heartbeat. Early games show more balance, better ball movement, and less hero ball isolation, but the empty spotlight tells a story louder than any box score. Derek Lively looks sharp, Kyrie is stepping into a real leadership role, and Jason Kidd finally seems free to experiment with his rotations. Still, there's a strange energy hanging in the air. Something feels off. And if this blockbuster trade proved anything, it's that in today's NBA, no one is untouchable anymore. Not even the guy who made an entire city believe again. But just when everyone thought the chaos had peaked, the real madness started right after the deal became official.
The press conference that followed was nothing short of a PR disaster. Nico Harrison, the Mavericks GM, stepped up to the mic looking completely unaware of the storm he was about to walk into. He talked about strategy, balance, and roster depth, all the standard business buzzwords, but fans didn't hear any of that. What they heard was a man trying to just...
The news, and the first time I heard it, I thought it was for sure fake. That was a hoax. People messing around, whatever.
But Luka is one of my favorite players in the NBA today. From the simple fact of the way I play the game is exactly how I love
the media firestorm that followed was something no press release could ever put out. For the fans, this wasn't about salary caps, luxury tax math, or long-term roster strategy. It was about losing the one player who gave them hope every single night. Luka wasn't just a superstar. He was the reason people showed up, the reason Dallas believed they could still matter. Then came the bombshell. Luka's father stepped in and publicly blasted the Mavericks front office for how they handled the situation, accusing them of hiding behind strategic language instead of being honest. That alone poured gasoline on an already raging fire. By that point, it was obvious the Mavericks were scrambling, playing catch-up in a disaster of their own making. They forgot something simple. Sometimes how you say something matters just as much as what you say. The PR team wanted to sound polished and strategic, but instead they came off cold and heartless. When Nico Harrison admitted he'd misjudged...
That's where Dallas fumbled hard.
Leaving that day to travel back, and my phone just starts blowing up left and right. And then I kind of, looked on social media, and I think I was as shocked and surprised as everybody.
The irony of it all was priceless. LeBron James, of all people, reacting to the Luka trade with shock. The same man who flipped the entire NBA upside down with The Decision in 2010. If anyone understood what it felt like to cause a global eruption with a single move, it was him. At first, LeBron admitted he thought the Luka trade was fake. He even said he had to double-check the account to make sure it wasn't a parody. But once it sunk in, he revealed he had always dreamed of playing alongside Luka, calling it one of those once-in-a-generation alignments. The internet exploded instantly because if LeBron talks like that, you know something legendary might be brewing. LeBron's reaction split the internet in half. Some fans said, of course he's hyped, while others rolled their eyes, claiming he was just working his media magic again. And let's be honest, nobody plays the narrative game better than LeBron. Still, there was something raw in his...
So it's still a grieving process right now. Miss my hermano. We had a lot of time together. Keith too, and Maxi.
Dirk barely said a word, but his silence said everything. You could see it in his face, the disappointment, the disbelief, the heartbreak sitting quietly between every pause. And for fans, that hit hard. If there's one player who embodies loyalty to his city, it's Dirk Nowitzki. The man who stayed through losing seasons, helped rebuild the franchise from the ground up, and never once demanded a trade. Now he was watching the organization let go of the same kind of loyalty he once gave them. Then came Kyrie Irving's response. Calm, controlled, but filled with emotion. He said losing Luka felt like losing a brother, and you could feel the weight behind that line. Still, in classic Kyrie fashion, he searched for the positive, welcoming Anthony Davis to Dallas and calling it a new balance, a new opportunity. You could tell he was trying to hold the locker room together even while processing the loss himself. Fans noticed too. Half the comments under the clip were some version of, you can tell Kyrie's hurting, but he's keeping it together. And then there was Giannis Antetokounmpo, who turned the moment into a cultural mic drop in the most Giannis way possible. When asked about Luka's move to LA, he just smiled and said, it's about time we take the